Okay. First and foremost, I gotta say thank you to God. I want to say thank you to God, not because I'm living a happy life and things are going good. I'm thankful because I didn't have to live life like this trash. They found empowerment in this foulness they can force us to experience, and I just need thank because at the end of the day, it doesn't take much to do what they do, and if the opportunity was presented to me, I can say that I won't do it, but I don't know, and I'm so thankful that I didn't have this opportunity, and I'm listening to this perps childlike trash, and I'm so thankful that they gave me the opportunity to take a picture of how clown like they are, and this trash is supposed to make you accepting of these things. This is the people here, these childlike individuals who want you to identify with any of this manipulation, and that's their job. They feel special doing that. They go into the state of thinking that they're some kind of warriors. The foulness of what they're part of, they know that very well. I don't underestimate how aware they are about how nasty they are. But they're not alone. This is a group. Sorry, this is a governmental program that facilitate evilness. Meaning that what they do to us is easy to do, and feeling guilty. Even though I don't care if they feel guilty or not, I really don't care how guilty they feel. I honestly don't give a damn about that. It's funny. It's like, oh, I feel bad. I'm like, I don't give a shit about how these perps feel. Truly, these trash are just childlike people that just so unimpressive in so many ways, and what they do even adds to the unimpressiveness of how they have to be. I have zero respect for this trash, and I see them as so truly trash. They know that. I don't identify with any of these manipulations. I know what they're involved in. I know who else is dying. Listen, when they play the femme fatale and try to play this feminist group of people, I always am thankful that I can bring up things that put things back in perspective in regard of what they're truly part of. And I always see them as people involved in this.
Hello, my name is Kimberly Buckner, and I have been a targeted individual for a very long time. The things I have experienced due to being targeted, they have been unreal. But however, I can personally attest that this is very real indeed. My life has been destroyed in every possible way, and every day has been a struggle for me. I'm very grateful to be before you today due to Amy Anderson's due diligence and to everyone else involved. I thank you, council members, for giving us targeted individuals a chance to speak and to be heard. And I pray that these atrocities will soon be brought to an end. But we need your help. Thank you.
And these atrocities they're talking about, as a woman and as a man who go through the same thing, it's things similar to this.
Abuse last night was pretty. A lot of strange things. I've been doing some research, I guess, what it's called, organized stalking. I'm called a targeted individual. But the abuse last night was pretty extreme. I can feel it's going to be the same again today. Already on the harming of the private parts of my body. I don't really know what.
So the clown psyops and facade and what they try to present themselves as, I know what they're truly part of. And then when I see these clowns trying to play these games, try to make you accepting of these things, it's just trash. I see you truly for what you are. And I'm thankful to God I didn't have to live life like this as easy as it is. You see how they're doing these things. You see how comfortable they are. Right now, the bravery of them just opening up the door and whispering things. In front of me, they know things will not be good. And not to say I'm going to be aggressive, but it's not going to look good in the sense that the psyop they wanted to present to them, to me, will not look good. I will look at them, listen to these testimonials, look at this trash for the trash that they are, and they'll feel so uncomfortable. These losers that just find empowerment, that come up with fantasy of what this thing is about. I rather starve to death. I rather lose my teeth. I rather die like this woman, go to whatever, than live life like them. This is a dignified way of dying. Trash like them in tell me how much, right now, for example, I hear some trash like die. It's like, I would rather die any day. This is an honorable death. I could live like you. But it's okay. You don't understand what dignity is. You'll see what I'm saying, how it comes through. They'll get theirs. Nothing this easy and this evil comes for free. Nothing. And I'm not trying to be poetic or spiritual, but there's nothing that is this evil and this easy that is free. This level of cowardness plus this level of evilness combined, Jesus, just a matter of time. And the way they talk to me via V2K, oh God, I'm glad I don't get to see them. I honestly don't want to be anywhere aggressive. These people need to get theirs. The way has to come to them, not me. Can you imagine somebody involved in that and they're like, oh, you paid our justice? And I know that they do these things to women. I know that they do these things to women. The same things. These losers feel special. We got you. It's like, God, imagine. Can you imagine the level of losery and the way they have to fantasize reality to find pride in whatever they were able to do to me, as if it's not easy. Trash us. They'll get theirs. And these things happens to babies too, to children. They know that I know that. When I see this man try to be all badass, it's like, I know you torture 3-week-old babies, you fucking trash. Stop trying to sound like you are low-life trash. A coward low-life who came and say Roy Moore. I'd rather get raped every day of my life than sell my soul to pedophiles. Let me say this. They can't say Roy Moore without saying it in a very special way. You understand? If you go through my videos, you'll see who that person is. I've seen the fear of God when I said that to them. But still trying to be like these fierce individuals. Let me say that. They can't say Roy Moore. Whatever I'm going to figure out in regard to how they frame me, what they done to me, it's okay. Let's go run to that. You have to find out what's coming for you. Some of them I already have. Some of them is TBD. But it will come one way or another. But I'm so thankful. Thank you. One thing I gotta say is be thankful to them. This trash is still trying to say Roy Moore. Well, I'm not focusing. But one thing is for sure, thank you for showing me dignity. Thank you. To still trying to sound fierce and not be able to say Roy Moore. To do these horrible things to babies and women and children. To rewire the brain and manipulate the brain and then be humiliated that this is things they do to others, so they can't even play this dumb. It's like they can't play dumb. So as your thoughts, your role. It's been super validated that they forced the brain in this disgusting ways. There's not been every day. If we can make 3 videos, 4 videos every day, I put this in their face. Embarrassed, like, I make sure.
This is a common breakdown tactic of belief systems and the human will. In no-touch torture, the techniques are more psychologically specialized for each target. Most common examples include homosexual targets that are forced with voices that are derogatory to their lifestyle and similar mental images. Almost all targets are forced to view child pornography in their minds.
I put that in their fucking face. Every day. They're not going to escape. They can send it. They send childlike people who, mentally how they are, to try to counter this.
V2K, or voice to skull. This involves the projection of voices, noises, and music directly into my mind to communicate with me in real time, and at the speed of thought. And it also includes the manipulation of thoughts, emotions, and perceptions in the person's mind. Additionally, the targeting is all highly perverted and sexual, as well as just.
And it's pedophilia centric, as she mentioned here. And I put that in their face to make sure that it's just in the top tier retards.
What is referred to as malodorance. This is the alteration of the smell sensation, so that I am often made to smell various things, including smoke, burning, dirty diaper, or baby powder, which they sometimes combine with the pedophilia type of torture, including the threat of planted dreams.
And what I mean by this top tier retards, I'm sorry for using this language, but they use this childlike people similar to what you see here. And they're like, no, they are, we are mapping. And they sound very childish. Oh my gosh. They send people like that. Try to be like, we're not manipulating, we were mapping, they are. As no, like that. It's actually, to be honest, these are not as bad. These perps here, some of these perps participating, wanting you to acceptive of this. They, when I mean childish looking, this is another level. It's like spectrum looking. Like children, like it's so embarrassing. It's like, no, they are or not. I'm like, yeah, please do that. Let me take a picture of you, please, because I want to be like this. I want to be, look at this down. Look at this childlike people try to make you accept of this. When it grown ass men and women here, look at this. They want you to identify with this manipulation that you know everybody else is also saying that you know, of course you know yourself as a human being. You know who you are. You know when you're being manipulated. But to have that extra validation that can even put that in their face, I'm like, do that in front of me. Look at your phone and pretend like, I'll be like, here. These people want me to think that this is not happening because they're looking at their phone.
Dramatic. It's somebody trying to end my life. It's somebody trying to end who I am as a person. It's somebody trying to take over my mind, putting thoughts of pedophiles. Like this disgusting things. You saw where I was going with that first word. Disgusting things that I don't even want to talk about because it makes me sick. I don't even like those words in my mind.
That I don't know, this technology can manipulate you to experience whatever they want. That this mean things
designed
exist.
to interact with the human nervous system in order to remotely pick up on someone's neural network or EEG, and not only receive that and monitor it, but manipulate it and place it back into the victim to control their emotions or control their actions or bodily functions for that matter. The other more recent term we have for that is EEG heterodyning or EEG cloning. The difference between EEG heterodyning and EEG cloning would be, let's say, me remotely receiving your EEG and then duplicating it and putting that in another person to give them your same thoughts or feelings or physical reactions. EEG heterodyning would be receiving your EEG, manipulating it to put it back inside your head to give us a desired physical reaction or emotional reaction.
These people pull up their phone, make it seem like, oh, what, we just caught you, get these emotions, these thoughts, and you're supposed to be identifying with this because, oh, they saw this, they're mapping, they're just manipulating your brain. Thought process are manipulated, as this woman saying this
V2K,
with V2K.
or voice to skull. This involves the projection of voices, noises, and music directly into my mind to communicate with me in real time and at the speed of thought. And it also includes the manipulation of thoughts, emotions, and perceptions in the person's mind. Additionally, the targeting is all highly perverted and sexual, as well as just.
And I'm supposed to think that I'm not being manipulated. In my brain, they try to create this thought process to make me acceptive of these manipulations.
Programming techniques. You're rewiring their thought processes in brains. And so this gets into what's called offensive information warfare.
That this is now how they break people down.
My guess that this person developed delusional disorder. This is a paranoid schizophrenia. But first of all, nobody develops paranoid schizophrenia in the 50s, in their 50s. This is, if you haven't developed it by 30, it's not. Then this technology exists. These nefarious programs exist, and it's hard to imagine for a person that why would you do something like this? But if you think about the new type of warfare,
It's cognitive warfare.
exactly, it's a cognitive warfare. You don't have to kill people that you are fighting against. You can just degrade their brain. You can
You alter their minds.
yeah, alter their minds.
Personalities.
And it's like Chinese torture.
That this is not happening, that my mind is not being altered, that this personality rebuilt, just not being applied to me. That's their mapping. Target individuals stay strong. You have clowns like this. And in my brain, because this is truly a psychological and cognitive manipulation. As this man say here, listen to this.
My name is Dr. John Hall. I'm a medical doctor from Texas. As I understand the memorandum from the president, it's for you to determine if current legislation is adequate in protecting individuals and if there's any ongoing experimentation. In reviewing the common rule, it's very obvious that there's a lot of loopholes to informed consent. All of the horrific experiments you've mentioned, Willowbrook, MK Ultra, radiation experiments, mostly were done without informed consent. They were funded by the DoD and intelligence agencies, where I'm not even so sure you would know if there's an IRB, much less if an IRB is looking at informed consent. As a physician, relative to some of what you're hearing today, in the community, we are seeing an alarming rate of complaints of use of electromagnetic weapons, microwave auditory effects, silent sound spectrum, EEG cloning, which has taken the lab out of the laboratory and into the home. Most of these, from the research that we reviewed, can be done remotely. It seems to be more weapons research than medical research. I personally corresponded with upwards of 1,500 victims, all complaining of identical complaints from every state in the nation of being exposed to electromagnetic radiation, non-ionizing radiation for the use of cognitive control or behavior control. I've submitted it.
You understand? Cognitive control, behavior control. This pedophilia type of torture is non-stop type of torment.
I also often see highly disturbing pornographic images and videos, including highly disturbing pedophilia type of images and videos when I close my eyes.
They just bombard you, manipulate your brain, rewire your brain in so many disgusting ways. And when it comes to what entities do that, it's obvious where this comes from originally and who's really sponsoring this.
In 1965, DARPA launched Project Pandora, which studied the possibility of using microwave radiation to control human behavior. The project reportedly ended in 1969, but DARPA's investigation of how machines can affect and possibly control the brain continues to this day.
So this is the psychological aspect of things, but they're destroying my body, my organs. In my brain, the way psychological they're really taking over your brain is crazy. They truly are rewiring your brain and try to make you accepting of this manipulation. You see this kind of validation and still try to make you believe that these thoughts that are being forced, that are obviously being manipulated. As you can see, I'm saying that because I know myself, you know yourself. These disgusting thoughts, the reactions and all that, you will obviously know. Now, it's been a long time now, 5 years or so of me dealing with this now. So I'm fading away more, forgetting who I was before August 19, 2019. But I'm so thankful that this level of validation is surreal. You know how they're trying to counter me? This bill was created in 2019. It was introduced. It's Bill S1413. And basically, this is the bill.
Has come under investigation for links to the proliferation of graphic material called Project Flickr. Some 5,000 individuals have been identified as having subscriptions to child porn sites, including many DoD-affiliated persons. So this ongoing national investigation has now prompted the House to introduce a bipartisan bill that would help the DoD stop the use of its network to, quote, possess, procure, or produce child pornography. Joining us to discuss this, investigative journalist Ben Swan. So Ben, the Pentagon already takes measures to limit worker access to stuff like porn by rolling out what they call the Personal Electronic Device (PED) policy, where workers have to drop off their phones and lockers before entering their offices. All their online searches are accessible by security if or when needed. Their Wi-Fi access is monitored in digital security sweeps. So how is this happening?
Well, it's happening because even though there is a certain amount of limitation on access, those who are working in the Department of Defense, clearly it appears to be thousands of individuals in the Department of Defense, are finding ways around this, specifically by using the Department of Defense IP addresses and also apparently peer-to-peer sharing within the department's network. So this study that was done on this issue, and it is pretty horrifying, Manila, to consider this. It shows that the Department of Defense ranked 19th out of almost 3,000 networks in terms of peer-to-peer sharing of child pornography. That is absolutely incredible. This bill attempts to essentially say, look, we're not doing enough to stop it from coming in, but we're also not doing enough in the Department of Defense to go after those individuals who were being recognized as the ones who were perpetrating this.
So Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger is the co-author to this bill. She said this, quote, "The notion that the Department of Defense's network and Pentagon-issued computers may be used to view, create, or circulate such horrifying images is a shameful disgrace and one we must fight head-on." Now, the fact that the Pentagon workers, be they civil or military or otherwise, already submit to a gauntlet of daily scrutiny just going in and out of work, is it fair then to the tens of thousands who are completely innocent to further allow that much more government intrusion into their digital devices or the things that they're dealing with on their computers?
Well, remember that what's being talked about here is not an intrusion into someone's personal device or even their home. This is about saying Department of Defense computers are being misused to share, to spread, to access child pornography. And when you step into an office, whether it's a Department of Defense office or it's the offices at RT America.
So, this is a bill that was created introduced, I should say, in 2019 as under the End National Defense Network Abuse Act. As you hear, this same entities manipulate us in these disgusting ways, rewiring the thought process in these disgusting ways, actually have been having consistent issue with pedophilia. Actually, when I mean consistent, for example, you can hear this man here who was the cyber security guy at the DoD at the time.
Have been uncovered at other agencies that handle sensitive information. In a November 2009 report, the Department of Defense acknowledged that dozens of Pentagon staff members or contractors had such images. In 2014, the Inspector General of the Intelligence Community found that two officials from the National Reconnaissance Office, which oversees America's spy satellites, acknowledged viewing images of child sexual abuse during polygraph examinations. This is so disturbing. At a symposium in 2016, Daniel Payne, a top Pentagon security official, said that when workers' computers were examined, the amount of child porn I see is just unbelievable. Is this?
So, as you can see, there is a problem, awkwardly enough, with the entities who are running this program that's empowered these losers here to feel special. Matter of fact, as I was showing this video, you can hear a childlike person, perhaps even more childish than these people, whispering, I ruined you, I said you are a pedophile. The awkwardness of it all, to try to counter that these entities that empower this trash to feel like gods have actually issued pedophilia, and it's been ongoing for decades and for years. And in 2019, because of just how crazy it became, where